I'm Father Theophan. I'm the priest at St. Joba Pachayev Orthodox Church in Los Alamos, New Mexico, a priest of the Ukrainian Orthodox Church of the United States of America. I don't think there has been a proclamation by any bishop or group of bishops on marijuana use. Now here in New Mexico it's legal, so when a law is not immoral, you should follow that law. That means if marijuana is illegal in your state or locality, you should absolutely not use it, because we render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's, and if the law is a just law, you should not use marijuana. So the moral problem with marijuana, I guess, is what you're getting at. Substance use, mind-altering drugs, are something to be very careful about. That being said, we use alcohol. We don't have a prohibition against alcohol use. There are some saints that smoked cigarettes in recent times. There are other saints that said cigarette smoke is the incense of the devil. So things are a bit fuzzy when it comes to should you use substances. It is more important to think about what the end goal is. Is it going to be a problem becoming addicted? Is it a good use of your money and your time? These are things that every person needs to decide for themselves. But there isn't a hard and fast rule. Our body is a temple. That being said, if you drink alcohol to excess, that's not good for you. But for that matter, caffeine isn't that good for you either. So it's a spectrum. Use wisdom in choosing what pastimes you do. Is it good for you? If it's something that's good for your body, it's something that's good for your soul as well. If it's something that's bad for your body, that's bad for your soul as well, and we should avoid it. But as far as it being evil, nothing in the created world is absolutely evil. It's the proper use of the thing. A new convert to Orthodoxy, take your time. Relax into it. You have the rest of your life to go deeper into Orthodoxy. You're not going to figure it out. You're not going to figure it out soon. You need to take the long perspective on your journey. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. If you go too hard, too fast, you will burn out. Listen to the people who've been in it for a long time. Those are the people you want their advice. It's very easy to go overboard at the beginning with all the fasting rules and the prayer rules and everything. It's very easy to go too hard and not have anything left. Go to church, listen to your spiritual father, and find friends in the Orthodox Church. Find community in the Orthodox Church. This is how you stay in, is building community. This is how you grow, by building community. You can't do it alone, and you can't do it fast. You're not competing, so take it easy, and you'll be in it for a long time, and you'll grow. How should an Orthodox Christian handle scrupulosity? I'm assuming this is from another Orthodox person, or from an Orthodox priest, or something like that. Scrupulosity is the enemy of joy. Now, that being said, don't cast judgment on the person who's scrupulous. They may very well be further along on the spiritual journey than you are, but that's okay. Humility is the key. We need to not care what other people think about us. I am a priest in the Orthodox Church, and I'm coming up on 10 years in the Orthodox Church, and I've had people tell me that I'm not Orthodox enough. I don't fast hard enough. I don't care enough about the rules. And you know what? They may be right. But the rules are not what it's about. It's about belonging to Christ and his church and the community, and sharing the love of God and sharing the joy of the Lord. It's not about, did you have an egg during the fast? Did you have a piece of cake at your daughter's birthday party during the fast? It's not about the rules. The rules are guardrails. The rules are a path for us The rules are for our benefit, not for God's benefit. God doesn't care if you eat a hamburger on Friday. We're training. And if you miss a day of training, you haven't ruined the outcome. Scrupulosity leads to burnout. Let people be scrupulous. Don't judge them. But also don't buy into it. God loves us. There's joy in that. And if there's not joy, you're doing it wrong. How can we fight to kill our ego? I wish I could say this authoritatively, but I have quite the ego still. I like to say there are two ways to kill your ego. One is obedience, and one is humiliation. Obedience is harder, but humiliation is much more painful. So, obedience. Let's go with that. Obedience to the church, obedience to the scriptures, obedience to your spiritual father. These are all very good things in that they take away the extraneous choices that we have. Do what you're supposed to do. I've had people come to me and say, my faith is waning. I don't know if I believe anymore. I don't know why we do all this stuff, and I don't feel it. Well, I've got news for you. Our feelings come and go. Our minds are just produce feelings and thoughts all over the place, and we can't let them control us. Read a saying recently, don't believe everything you think. Ideas pop into our heads that need to be just escorted out. Do the things you're supposed to do. That's obedience. When your faith is waning, when you don't feel like it, double down. Go to church more. Pray more. You do the external things that are just a choice, and the feelings will follow. Sometimes it will be better, sometimes it will be worse. Sometimes we're in spring season, sometimes we're in the winter. But you keep going. One of the other things that kills the ego is having children. When you suddenly have to live for somebody else. You have somebody that's more important than yourself. I like to say that the thing that most prepared me for the priesthood was having children. Seminary was great, don't get me wrong, but having children prepares you for the priesthood and for getting rid of your ego, because you have these people that you care about immensely that don't listen to you. And that's very much fatherhood, and that's very much the priesthood. That's a way to kill the ego. So married clergy is one of the things that's really scandalous to a Roman Catholic when they come into the Orthodox Church, because they have the celibate priesthood. The Orthodox have had married priests from the very beginning. St. Peter himself had a mother-in-law, which means he was married. So the married clergy is a thing. And it's always been a thing for the Orthodox. That being said, a Orthodox priest can only be married before he becomes a deacon. So there are 3 levels of clergy in the Orthodox Church: deacon, priest, bishop. If you want to be married, but you want to become a priest, you need to be married before you take the first step into the diaconate. After you become a deacon, you can't be married. After you're a priest, you can't get married. So your wife needs to know you and be married to you before you take that first step. Another thing is our bishops, though, are celibate, and they are taken from the ranks of people who have taken monastic tonsure. So our bishops may have been previously married, but they would have had to have been widowed before and taken monastic vows before they become a bishop. When an Orthodox couple faces infertility, you have to remember that there are 2 reasons to be married. The first reason, obviously, is procreation and the raising of children in the faith. But there's a second vital reason to be married, and that is to get each other to heaven. The husband and the wife are on their journey together to become more like God. And they're supposed to help each other on that journey. There is the possibility that you could adopt children, and that's a wonderful thing, and there are children who need to be adopted. But a marriage is not made valid by children. The man and the woman with God make up a model of the Holy Trinity. And it's one of the paths to theosis. It is so hard to become Orthodox outside of a community. My advice to a person who wants to become Orthodox outside of a community is get ready to take a trip, okay? Yes, you should get a prayer book, get an Orthodox study Bible, start reading the scriptures, start doing the daily prayers, morning and evening prayers, prayers before meals, and that kind of thing. But you're going to have to visit a church. You're going to have to be part of a community, at least on occasion. If this is your spiritual path, you need to make the investment to get to a monastery or get to a good church on a regular basis. If that's twice a year, do it twice a year. If you could do it monthly, do it monthly. We are not saved alone. The philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche said hell is other people, and he had it exactly wrong. We're saved in community. Heaven is other people. Our love for God is shown by our love for other people. When we show our love to other people, we show our love to God. Because God loves each of us. We're all his children. And so we need to be together for salvation to work. Women can't become priests because the Orthodox faith is a revealed faith. We don't change tradition to align with our modern sensibilities. Are men and women equal in the Orthodox Church? Absolutely. Do women have roles of authority in the Orthodox Church? Absolutely. Sunday school teachers, choir directors, parish council presidents, and members. Yes, women have roles in the church, official roles in the church. But the priesthood is an image of Christ, and Christ came as man. And we didn't have women priests from the very beginning. There were women disciples, there were women apostles, but nowhere did you have women priests from the very beginning. And since it's a revealed religion and we accept those things passed down to us, that's why we don't have women priests now. That's not because they're less than men. It's just a role. And women and men have different roles. It may be an uncomfortable truth that we don't like to see nowadays, we don't like to believe, but men and women are different, and we do different things in the church.